Hi, I'm Erica Horton, and I'd like to welcome you to I Love Houston, a show that highlights exciting and positive things about our city. Each month, we'll spotlight a local agency that partners with the City of Houston's charitable giving drive, the Combined Municipal Campaign. The CMC has provided city employees a way to give back to the community for more than 20 years. Houston's Third Ward community, home to two major universities, has a rich cultural history. It's also home to Workshop Houston, a charitable agency which helps local middle school and high school students. Founded in 2003, they offer kids hands-on learning to help them find their futures. Workshop Houston strives to create a fun and engaging community, and they're doing it by changing lives one child at a time. Workshop Houston began with the Third Ward Bike Shop. As interest grew, more and more children came to learn. Workshop Houston added a chopper shop, style shop, beach shop, and scholar shop. Nicole Robertson is the citywide coordinator for CMC. She went to Workshop Houston to see what the kids were up to.
Hi, I'm Nicole Robinson. I'm here downtown in Third Ward at Workshop Houston. We're gonna go and talk to Sanjay, and he's gonna show us how these kids build bikes from scratch. I'm here with Mr. Sanjay. He's the chopper shop coordinator here at Workshop Houston. Tell me about this place. What is the mission that you want to, what is the mission here at the chopper shop?
Okay, well, basically in chopper shop, it's an extension of the Workshop Houston mission, which is to provide technical and educational resources for children in 6th to 12th grade. What we do here is we teach them how to use math and physics and design skills to design and build their own chopper style bicycles. Take your measurements for your angles.
All right, so I see that you have some bikes here in the shop. Can you tell me about the sneaker bike?
Okay, the sneaker bike was built for a store called the Tipping Point in downtown. And it was a bike that they commissioned the students to build. So we had a group of kids who designed and built this chopper with shoes as wheels. At first, there's a pretty steep learning curve, learning how to do this kind of thing, because it's not the kind of thing you learn in school. You don't approach problems the same way. So for me, it's very gratifying when they suddenly get it. You know, okay, now that's what I have to do, and then they learn how to do that on their own without having to ask me anymore.
This is one of the bikes that we've done as a group, the Dickens of Deadwood, and my bike is that one right here. That's the one I've done for me personal, and I've also helped do a bike, the Premium Kids bike.
Do you use any of the other shops here?
I've done beach shop and style shop, but the one I like the most is chopper, because we can be creative and build it, and not just have it in our head or on paper.
Do you get to take your bikes home?
Yeah, we take them home after they're completely finished, they're painted, and we ride them home.
What have you learned coming here at the workshop?
The thing I've learned coming here to Workshop Houston is that I've learned to be respectful to other people.
What does your family think about you coming here?
They're actually kind of happy me coming here, because ever since I started coming to Workshop Houston, they've seen lots of improvements in me, in my behavior, in my schoolwork.
Here in Chopper, I think the main thing that they learn here is that no problem is too big. So it's a little more intangible than, okay, I can point to a grade that has improved. But I think just having to go through all that they have to go through to build a bike, when they start out, it's such a daunting task. But when they're done, you know, it wasn't so hard after all.
Thanks guys for showing me how to build a bike. I can ride the MS-150 in style. Back to Eric in the studio.
Thanks, Nicole. That was great. Here with me in the studio is Reginald Hatter, co-director of Workshop Houston. Welcome to the show, Reginald.
Thank you. I'm very happy to be here.
Can you tell me a little bit about the origins and the mission of Workshop Houston?
Okay, pretty much in 2003, 4 college friends, they all went to Oberlin College together, and they kind of worked in bike shops and did a lot of community programs there. And after they graduated, they kind of wanted to do something similar, and they all decided to do one here in Houston. One of the co-founders is originally from Houston. That's kind of all like how they ended here. So the mission of Workshop Houston is to provide youth with creative, technical, and educational resources. We originally started off as a bike shop, and from there we expanded into the other programs that you all came when you visited.
What are the plans for the future? Are there any plans for expansion? Are you adding more shops?
Yes, definitely. We're actually in the middle of a capital campaign. We just started, and we just recently purchased land adjacent to our property. We have so many students, and we're just running out of space. So we're definitely trying to grow and improve so we can just serve more students and just have the whole community of Third Ward involved.
Everyone has felt the strain of this economic environment, and I'm pretty sure Workshop Houston is not an exception. What are your primary funding needs?
Well, definitely. We have major donors just like any other nonprofit organization. We're a 501c3 organization. So, I mean, the biggest thing is always trying to get new individuals to know about Workshop Houston, like personal donors to like fund our organization. But definitely, you know, we always need money, but we definitely can use volunteers. Volunteers are so important. We work with a lot of, young individuals, so having, more people to help us out is always a great thing.
How did you become involved with Workshop Houston?
Around 6 years ago, I was actually into education. I was doing tutoring programs at different middle schools here in Houston, helping kids with tax testing. And to be honest with you, I kind of got jaded by the experience. I didn't want to just focus on teaching tests or teaching kids how to do tests. So when I heard about the program, it was just a way to educate kids in, a holistic point of view or viewing. To actually get the whole, of all education. So I kind of started off as our scholarship coordinator. So I started doing it and just started working with education. And from there, I just kept working and came over into being the co-director.
Well, that sounds great. That sounds awesome. Stay with us. When we come back, we'll visit the Style and Beat Shop. But first, here's a clip from Glad I Made It by one of the Workshop Houston students.
I made it, yeah.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Erica Horton. Today we are talking about Workshop Houston, a Third Ward charitable organization supporting local middle school and high school students. I was able to visit with these amazing students myself, along with my on-the-spot co-host, Nicole Robertson. Here's what we learned about the Style and Beat Shop. So Jill, what did the kids do at the Style Shop?
We have 4 different curriculum here in the Style Shop. We teach the kids drawing, screen printing, Photoshop, and sewing. And the idea is that the kids will get their basic drawing down, they'll be able to manipulate their drawing in Photoshop, they can burn that image to a screen print it onto fabric, and then make that fabric into something they would want to wear to school, which is pretty exciting.
So can you tell me more about the process of Photoshop?
Sure, we have a written curriculum that all our kids work through. Photoshop is not a very user-friendly computer program, so it's interesting to watch our 12 and 13-year-olds begin to learn the process of it. They've done some really incredible stuff. We will use their Photoshopped images and we will put them onto t-shirts, which is very popular right now.
So with it not being easy, like an easy curriculum, how do y'all break down the steps so a middle school student can understand how to start Photoshop?
Yeah, absolutely. We start at the beginning, the very beginning. If a kid says they're interested in sewing, first thing they have to sit down and all the curriculum has steps to it. So sewing 1 is comprised of a lot of different components, which might be learning the parts of the machine, practicing on paper, following a line, before you start to get into cutting fabric and measuring and things like that. So if a student really kind of hooks in and says, I like sewing, they can do sewing 1, and then they can move on to sewing 2, and on to sewing 3 and 4 and 5. But it's really their choice, which is what's pretty exciting, because when you're 13 years old, you don't get a choice about a lot of things that you do.
Mm-hmm. So it's basically in phases.
Yeah, absolutely. We start at the very, very beginning with everything, and then they work through it. And then the idea is once they've mastered all of those 4 things, they get to move on to more advanced stuff.
All right, can you show us a little bit about the screen printing process? How does this work?
Well, you go find a type of paper, you put it in here, and then like you go find the screen over there, any type of screen you like, and you go get some paint and you put it in, and that's when you start. But you have to watch out, so it won't go like if you don't want it right there, so you can't put it right there. You just want only that word.
Can you show me how you put the paint on there?
The squeegee, you put it on the paint, and you do it like this.
Wow.
You do it like 4 or 5. Anytime you want. And then there
That's
it
the
goes.
finished product. Wow. Those were some really cool outfits. Now we're going to take a look at some kids making music at Workshop Houston.
The mission here at the beach shop.
Well, the beach shop is here for the kids to come after school. More importantly, to have a creative outlet, you know, to kind of like after they've been kind of boxed in at school all day, to come here and have a creative release.
Just do like this.
Oh, okay. So you just made your own little beat. And what have you learned here at the beach shop or at Workshop Houston in general?
In general, I learned how to weld. I learned how to produce music.
Okay.
Welding, that's a skill I can pick up.
Okay.
So that's good.
Okay.
And producing music, I love this, so that's why I love.
Producing music is your passion.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I try to teach them all of the tools that they'll need in order to make music and get any ideas that they may have creatively. Ultimately, I try to teach all the kids how to make beats, which includes piano.
I think that it's good because you can learn a lot of stuff and you have fun at the same time. I think it might lead to better test scores and better scores and better chances of getting a good job in life.
Piano is the basis of everything that we do in the beach shop because most of the stuff that we work with is MIDI implementation. And all of that requires piano skills because the MIDI pianos hook up to the computers. Okay. So mostly everything is hooked up through the piano. So that's the main focus.
I can.
What do you want the kids to walk away from the beach shop knowing? What do you want them to walk away with?
If they work hard enough, they can figure out to do things that they may have thought they didn't have the ability to do. And so that they can take that skill and apply it to other things in life.
Teaching these kids how to make music also teaches them life skills like project management and working together as a team. And now we're joined by Workshop's Houston Volunteer Coordinator, China De Hoyas. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Can you tell me a little bit of how people can get involved and volunteer for Workshop Houston?
Of course. It's really simple to come volunteer with Workshop Houston. What we do is we do a telephone interview. Once you pass your telephone interview, then we do a orientation where you just come in, take a quick tour, we fill out some paperwork, and then after that, you're set.
Now, how did you become the volunteer coordinator at Workshop Houston? How are you involved with the agency?
I just got really lucky. Pretty much, they sent out an ad. I really wanted to work for nonprofits for all of my schooling career, so when I got a chance, I went for it, and I'm very lucky that they chose me.
What do you look for in a volunteer when they come to Workshop? What kind of qualities are you looking for?
Really what I look for in a volunteer is that they want to give back to the community. I mean, we can work with you if you don't have any experience with kids or if you don't have any experience with the activities that we do have at Workshop Houston, but as long as you have that desire, then everything is going to be fine.
What else would you want people to know about Workshop Houston?
I think the big thing I would like people to know about Workshop Houston is come on by. We are very welcoming. We need a lot more volunteers. We really love to have people donate their time. And I mean, it's a fun environment. I mean, just because you're helping our kids doesn't mean you can't learn how to pick up a guitar, or learn how to sew, or build a bike yourself. So it's a really fun experience for people that I wish they'd come and see.
How much have you seen Workshop Houston grow since you've been there?
I haven't really been there too long, but just from the time I've spent there, we've already starting to break new ground and build new buildings and trying to raise funding for that. So that, I mean, I haven't been there that long, so it's pretty amazing to me.
Thanks, China. That was great. It's a lot of good information. And if you want more information, you can check out the website below. When we come back, we'll take a peek at the Scholar Shop. Welcome back. I'm your host, Erica Horton. Let's take a look at the last program at Workshop Houston called the Scholar Shop.
Which amendment of the Constitution gives Americans freedom of speech? We teach to the student. We focus on what the student needs to accomplish, not what a standard needs to accomplish.
What's it like to know that you have children coming in here and you're changing their life?
Oh, well, it's a great feeling. I've always wanted to teach, and I feel that my gift, being able to come from a neighborhood like this and to actually attend college, I feel like I should give back. But it's not really charity work to me. It's what I love doing. Got it? Thumbs up if you got it.
Can you tell me about the books that you have that you would not normally find in schools that you're exposing to the kids here in the Scholar Shop?
We try to provide them with a lot of literature that won't be in public school bookshelves, and that's just to encourage them that, you know, people that look like them are also successful.
We started the high school program as an outlet for our high school students to come here, get tutoring, homework help, and support. And it's kind of grown as word of mouth has spread and they've told their friends about the program. We try to expose them a lot to the college atmosphere and college life just to get them prepared and even having the desire to go to college. I've been trying to make that a reality for them, showing like, this is what you need to get into this school. This is what we have to do to get there.
333. 333 is correct.
Well, the workshop is like fun, and like in Scholar Shop you learn a lot. Cause like when you're at school, people are like, oh, it's boring and frustrating. When you come to Scholar Shop, it's like a fun way of learning, like you're not bored or anything. We learn like different ways how to solve a problem, like easier ways than the ones that they teach us in school.
The Scholar Shop is a requirement for all students each time they come to Workshop Houston. Teachers help them with homework to keep them on track and doing well in school. I'm joined again by Reginald Hatter, co-director of Workshop Houston. Reginald, why is the Scholar Shop required? What do the kids benefit from it?
Well, one of the things about Workshop Houston is that we're a program that it's pretty much a drop-in program. They can come on their own. And our programs are designed to attract kids. You know, we try to make them fun and interesting as possible. So it's something to do besides just hanging out on, on the street, on the corner. And then the Scholar Shop is pretty much that just makes the program that makes sure that they're doing well in school. So it's a requirement. And actually we're required that the students have A and B grade point averages. And for them to come and use our programs, they have to use the Scholar Shop. It's just a requirement so you can make the cool bikes, make the cool music. So it's just a way that we can reinforce education and have fun at the same time.
So again, like the shops outside the Scholar Shops are an incentive for them to go through the Scholar Shop.
Yes, exactly. All the other programs are optional. The students can decide which shop they want to go to. They can go to Chopper or Beat or Style. That's on them. But the Scholar Shop is the only required program. And the students have to spend a minimum of an hour there working on their homework from school, or they're doing supplemental forms of education and different things that we're trying to teach them to get them further advanced in their studies.
So if I'm a student and I'm interested in the subject, I just go to the Scholar Shop and I say, hey, I want to learn about this. Is it structured like that? Or
yes, no, and that's one of the things about what we do. We do have a curriculum, but we're not a school. We're an after-school program. We're almost a supplemental form of education. So nothing is off limits at Workshop Houston. You can come, we talk about religion and politics, and anything that a student wants to learn about is open for discussion at Workshop Houston.
That's great that y'all reinforce those educational needs as well. There's a young man named Robert who's an example of what Workshop Houston is all about. Let's take a look.
I start to see things more clear than I usually did. So like when I was at school, I was like, man, why I gotta go to school and all that. But like when I started coming to Workshop Houston, I started seeing, leadership, being independent, doing what I want to do, being successful.
Who was instrumental in Scholar Shop to help you kind of get to the point where you are now?
Reginald.
Reginald?
Yeah.
How did Reginald inspire you?
Because he, even when I gave up on myself, he always told me, I get it, just keep trying, and that's something that stayed with me, and it still stay with me now.
So when you get to those tough times, you draw on that inspiration of keep trying.
Always, because like actually I use it in my everyday life now, because I know whenever it's something like that I want to get done or don't know how to get done, I think about a lot of things that I did in the past that he helped me with and that other people helped me with, and it'll push me on to my goal.
That's amazing. So Reginald, what does Robert do now?
Actually, I'm glad you asked that question. Robert is pretty much like a mentor. He's been with us for 6 years now, and he pretty much just works with the students to let them know that, you know, you can be from the Third Ward, you can have the, you know, the issues that he's had and still do something with yourself. I mean, Robert started with Workshop Houston, like I said, 6 years ago, and he'll be honest about this. He was pretty much illiterate. He couldn't read, even though he was in the 6th grade. You know, and he started working with me, and it was just like my task to make sure that he was able to read, and it really changed everything about him. Before, when he had problems reading, I mean, his behavior, everything about him was just like out there. But once he gained that confidence, everything about him, it just changed. And now he works with other kids. He's been doing a lot of like break dancing. He's been joining different break dance, just really positive things that I'm just really happy to see the transition in his life.
You seem to have a really strong influence on the students at Workshop Houston. How is it being somewhat like a surrogate father or a role or a mentor?
Well, I mean, pretty much it comes from my own background. I'm originally from South Central Los Angeles. I grew up in a neighborhood, I would say, even, I wouldn't say worse than Third Ward, because Third Ward was a great community, but just filled with poverty. I went to jail as a child. I was just doing just ridiculous things, and then education is what saved me. And through Workshop Houston, I think that's how we save kids, is through education.
Well, that's a lot of good information. Y'all are doing some awesome work out there. The kids are great, and I hope people look at this and get involved with the program that you have, and that it continues to grow and expand. That's it for today. Thanks, Reginald, for being here.
Thank you. I'm honored, and it's been a pleasure.
Thanks for watching. Join me next time as we shine a spotlight on more organizations helping the Houston community. I'm Erica Horton, and this is I Love Houston.